Hello, hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to your November 2018 overview reading. And this is good for you if you're a sun, moon, or rising Sagittarius. All right. So if you don't know what your sun, moon, and rising sign is, just look up natal chart generator and you can find a free one. But I might not be able to get back to you on how to find it. So natal chart generator is what you Google. Go ahead, if you have a specific intention for this reading, go ahead and set that now. Focus on anything you'd like to have come up during the reading, any answers. Just ask for it. Okay. Feel into your body, take a few deep belly breaths. Okay. First thing coming up for Sagittarius is meditate before you medicate. Okay, this also, I know that you might hear me say this quite a bit, but when you feel the need to numb or check out or engage in one of those activities, a lot of the time it's pointing to an underlying need that wants to be met. And so if you can actually identify what you're really wanting in terms of a need, it can actually reduce that knee-jerk reaction to check out or numb or, you know, and this can show up in any way. It can be like cleaning the house. It can be pouring an extra glass of wine. It can be any number of things. It's not just medication. It can be a lot of different activities. Okay, now the other thing we have coming up is motivation. And motivation, I like to think of as energy in a lot of ways. Like, we might not always have the inspiration or the why right away. A lot of the time you're going to have to cultivate it. It's something that you have to practice. Like, you have to find your motivation. It's not and it's like some days are going to be more motivating than others. You might have more energy on some days than others, but at the bottom line here is that it is something that you have to seek out in large part. So it's kind of like if you're just waiting for motivation to appear, I mean, good luck. Let me know how that works out for you. Okay, so then we also have be free, do what you love. There could not be a more Sagittarius card in this deck. You know, Sagittarians are all about freedom, thinking for yourself, acting for yourself, and it really is about kind of finding your niche, finding your groove, finding your energy, finding your flow. And while we can get knocked out of balance, we can get things that ebb and flow. It really is about the faster you can get back into a flow state, that's really what the objective is. And then the word of the month, resolve. Align to the heart of your desire, then fan the flames of action. That's what we just talked about. Great feats are possible. Find validation in past successes. Let your will be stronger than your self-doubt. Okay, and self-doubt is normal. Like, that's a normal part of the process. So it's not like if you have a day filled with self-doubt, you're on the wrong path. I can't stand that garbage. Don't let anyone tell you that. Well, if you're not always cheery and always happy, you're on the wrong spiritual path. That is absolute nonsense. So this is something that you're taking day by day, and even if you come face to face with resistance, fear, doubt, any of those things, it's about pushing beyond what you think you can do. Now, the central energy for Sagittarius is the High Priestess. Okay, so this is you really working from a space of trusting yourself. Okay, this might not be the best month to ask for a lot of different people's opinions. This is going to be a good month to just execute based on what you're craving, what you're wanting, how you feel is the best course of action. See how it goes. Treat this like experimentation. It's not something that you have to do for the rest of your life. It's not like you're never going to ask people for advice ever again. It's just about really seeing what happens as a result of you kind of cutting out the noise and just focusing on what happens when you're trusting your gut. How does that pan out for you in a lot of ways? Because remember that your gut instinct is not always something that's fine-tuned. It does take practice. It does take, it's a muscle. Whoop, sorry, I bumped the tripod. It does take practice, and it is a muscle. Now, what's in your highest good to manifest in the month of November? The 5 of Wands. And so this looks like focus. This actually looks like the same thing with motivation. Like, this is also something that you can manifest. Like, if you want motivation, you can actually ask for that. Remember, there are no limits on what you can ask for unless you're trying to impact free will. That's the only line that is really drawn in the sand in terms of manifestation. You can't impact free will, but everything else you can ask for, even if it's a feeling. It's something that half of it is you taking action to cultivate said emotion or experience, and then half of it is, you know, just kind of setting the intention there and asking for it. And so this is like that scattered, everything being broken apart or disconnected. And so again, we go back to the idea of a flow state, things being cohesive, things coming together and being combined. Advice for your energetic health, the world. I'm going to clarify this one. Oh my God. Okay, we got the world again. So 2 worlds, and this is really pointing to cycles and habits, because the world is about a completion of a cycle. So think about what is one thing that's been really, really persistent for you energetically. Like, what's coming to mind, even if it's like the first thing that pops up for you, a consistent energetic experience that you're having. Maybe it's a psychic experience, maybe it's an emotional experience. Both of those work. And that is kind of what you're wrapping up. I'm actually going to go as far as to say over the next 2 months, not just November. Actually, I'm getting, my intuition is saying that this is something that you're wrapping up over the next 8 weeks, not just November. So this is going to bleed out a little bit. It's going to be a little bit more fluid for you. But it looks like you're really sorting through those patterns, that thing that you've had going on for a long time is kind of coming full circle. And then advice for your physical health, we have the Star. This is also pointing you to, again, people really forget how you want to use manifestation. It's not just like, I'm manifesting only good things ever. You won't be able to experience only good things ever, because if you don't have contrast, you can't actually have good things. So scrap that idea. The whole point with this is that you can manifest resources, you can manifest support, you can manifest guidance, you can manifest community, you can manifest all of these other things that will support your physical health. It's not just like, even if you're dealing with physical ailments in this moment, it's not just about, oh, I want my body to be healed. That's not the only thing at work here. It also has to do with the right resources, the right connections, the right opportunities, the right treatment, the right healers, the right support, the right community. So think outside the box in terms of what you're asking for and what you're needing. That's also something that you can explore. And so the star is kind of like a dream bigger, think more outside the box, think more abstractly. This is the card of Aquarius. So you might want to consult some Aquarian friends or like bounce ideas off of each other while still holding on to your crown chakra and your integrity. You don't want to give that away and just listen to somebody else fully. You want to go in with an open mind, collect information, and then synthesize it so that you can use it for yourself. And that's really the key to your physical health in November. It's not about there being one right thing, kind of like there is no one right diet. We have different genetics, we have different experiences. There's no one right type of exercise, same thing. It's like people like and respond to different things differently. So it's okay to explore the information. Sagittarians are good at that. But then you also want to keep in mind what resonates with you. What do you trust internally? What's shifting out for you this month is the Four of Wands. Let me clarify this because I'm wondering. The Emperor. Okay, so this is, I believe that these cycles here, your energetic healing, your energetic health in the month of November, December-ish, this is family lineage on the paternal side. Okay, so that's really what's shifting out is in terms of the cycles that you've been running. This is giving you another clue. It's coming from the paternal, not the maternal. So your father's side or like wherever, whoever the male figure is that you've collected lineage from. Okay, so this would even apply if you are dealing with abandonment. So like, let's say you don't even know your dad. This still applies to you, because you still are connected to that lineage energetically through your root chakra. And so that's where the information is kind of coming from. And that picture, because this is about family, home, lineage, that's shifting out. So it's kind of like the masculine cycles, all of those patterns that are coming up are really coming full circle, and you're able to heal those through you running more of the feminine and kind of exercising this a little bit more. And then the oncoming energy for you is the Three of Wands. I've already I'm reading this as something that I've already communicated quite a bit in this reading. It's about focus. It's about cohesion. It's about, you know, bringing things together and finding your focus for yourself, your motivation, your flow state. These are all things that you are kind of setting yourself up for. And that's what, see, in the position of manifestation, you're manifesting this, but this is the current climate or experience that you're having. At least that's how I'm interpreting this. And so the Three of Wands is kind of like, what am I building? Where am I going? What are my next steps? And that's something that even if you don't know right away, you're building to that. So don't get discouraged if you don't have a clear, concise idea. It's something that you have to construct. It's not something, I mean, while some people do have that gift where they just pick a path, pick what they want to do and go with it. That happens all the time. In the same breath, some people need to create a patchwork experience of what it is that they're going for, what it is that they are trying to achieve. Okay, now we're going to get into the timeline portion of the reading. So first, second, third, and fourth quarter is basically weak. It's not going to be totally, you know, Monday through Sunday. It's going to be fluid because it's time, but that's essentially what it means if you're new to my channel. So the first quarter, we have the Three of Swords. This is all of these paternal lineage patterns and cycles that are shifting out. Okay, so you're doing a lot of energetic work here. Like this is all a bundle package. The two World cards and then the Emperor, Four of Wands, Three of Swords. This really looks like it's all coming together. What I do want to let you know is if you are feeling sensitive, if you're extra prickly, if you are struggling emotionally, it is okay. Have compassion for yourself, and if you need, you can always, you know, seek support if you need it. You don't have to do this alone. It's something where you can seek out things that you feel are going to help you and provide you with some relief. If you're having a tough time, maybe it's talking to a friend, maybe it's outside help, maybe it's just having someone to vent to, whatever you feel like you need, I am going to encourage you to move forward with that. Okay, second quarter, we have the Fool, a fresh start. This is a natural thing that we see happen here. It's like the purge, the release, and then the new beginning. You know, it's kind of like that death card. What's gone away, what's been left behind is now being filled up with whatever you're wanting and needing in the present. And so you really have the opportunity to do that in the second quarter. And this is where you start to get a little bit more of a vision coming through. Third quarter, we have Nine of Coins. So it's like you've done the work. Okay, now you can reward yourself, enjoy the fruits of your labor. This is serious work. Okay, so don't underestimate it. The worst thing you can do is be like, yeah, right, I'm fine. I don't need a break. I'm 10 feet tall and bulletproof. That's going to bite you. So make sure that you're like, it doesn't mean you can't go outside or you have to, you know, shut yourself in. It's just about really letting yourself feel whatever you need to feel without judgment. Okay, and then by doing that, you're really able to see through all of the things that have happened, and you're really able to get to the core of your intuition. And then wrapping up the month, Nine of Cups. So like make a wish. I love this card. It's all about like dreaming really, really big for yourself. And again, like I said, with the motivation piece, like maybe you're just wanting to manifest inspiration, clarity, someone, you know, even a catalyst, but I'd be careful with manifesting one of those. You gotta really know how to use your language if you want to use one of those. But it's all about asking. Like it starts with asking, and people forget that. They think that their thoughts will completely override everything else, and that's not the case. It's about the collective thing that you're doing and the consistent thing that you're doing. Okay, so this is a really nice way to end November for you. It's all about wishes being fulfilled. Okay, so now we're going to do a 3-card pick. You can pick a card that is calling to you or whatever question you want to ask. All of the above will work. And then I just want to give you a heads up. These are affirmation cards. They're not tarot cards. And so they do read as advice. And they're technically for love and relationships, but they apply across the board, I've found, in all different types of relationships. So it's not limited to that. Okay, card number 1, we have appreciation. I appreciate the unique ways other people show their love rather than compare their ways with my ways. Then I appreciate myself for maturely putting up with people who just can't seem to show love the normal, obviously universally accepted way. Good job, both of us. Okay, and this also has to do with acceptance, like acceptance of other people not. Remember that acceptance and tolerance are different. I just want to make that distinction. So acceptance is what allows you to appreciate. So that's kind of the vehicle to appreciation. Card number 2, we have harmony. I know in my heart that when something is right, it feels easy and breezy, even though that sounds cheesy. With this in mind, I banish all stress, insecurity, and tedious work from my relationships. Then I invite harmonious relationships into my life and let them show up on their own time. Easy breezy things are rarely punctual. Don't get too wrapped up in when is my manifestation going to come up? When is this going to happen? When is this going to be the way I want it to be? So make sure you're loose around the timing, that you're really exercising your immutability. Card number 3, we have thoughtfulness. It's time to put your money where your mouth is, and have fun showing your love. Think of all the little things you can do to show a person you love them. Then stop thinking of those things and actually do them. It's time to hide and know. Good Lord, I've been doing these for too long. Is it time to hide a note in someone's pocket, make them a snack, order them a book? Anything thoughtful can be an act of love, even taking the trash out to the dumpster, unless you're dating the trash, in which case don't take it to the dumpster, take it somewhere fancy. Wow, who would have thought oh, this is hard to read. That being so full of thoughts could be considered thoughtful. Sorry, I know you probably, the yellow and white isn't really the best color pairing. This is coming up, and the way it's translating is very similar to the appreciation as well, which is if you just kind of lead with kindness, it's kind of like the return on that investment is massive a lot of the time. So don't underestimate thoughtfulness. And I think it's totally okay to look at this from a selfish standpoint, is like, this is something that you're doing to benefit your life. It's not necessarily just to be altruistic. It can also be for you to experience something bigger, something grander, something of higher caliber. So thoughtfulness can go a long way in November. And with that, Sagittarius, that is all that I have for you today. Thank you so much to each and every one of you. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and following me on other platforms like Facebook and Instagram. And until next time, I wish you nothing but the best. Don't forget, if you want to work with me one-on-one, the links are in the description box, along with all of the decks that I've used in today's reading. And I will talk to you all later. Have a good one. Bye-bye.